All right, guys. So you don't like your time being wasted, and I don't like wasting your time, so let's get right into it. All right, so 2 topics on the board for today. 3 topics, 1 surprise topic hidden at the end, and the 2 we're going to focus on today, which should be on the thumbnail, if I know how to make thumbnail. It is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League news. I know when's the last time you've heard about it, but when's the last time you paid attention to news about that game? And the TikTok ban. All right, and where people are going. So let's focus on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Since we are nerdy step cousins and family and whatnot. Or maybe we're not. I don't judge you. Here's the thing. We've been in the game. You've been killing the Suicide Squad. Well, you've been killing the Justice League members as the Suicide Squad members that you've been getting. And, you've got the various DLCs. So the last DLC, Content Manager, came up. And guess what it turns out happened? So, you haven't even been killing the real Justice League. Yeah. Arkham Batman laid out on the bench. Flash zipping around and acting like Eobard. John Stewart severely underpowering himself for no apparent reason. Yeah, all clones. All clones. So, here's the thing. Apparently, Batman had this plan. Arkham Batman had a plan, which I understand. I mean, listen. You are trying to put out this fire, essentially, right? You are trying to not appease, because that talks down to, but you are trying to essentially win back the goodwill of all these fans. You made amazing games. 3 amazing games, and WB Montreal made a good game. I don't care what anybody says. Arkham Origins is good. You can lick my salted nuts. But here's the thing. When you say this is the character that you have grown an attachment to, this is an emotional moment. We're going to live on this emotional moment. Then when you're talking about it in interviews and everything, you double down on it. In essence, what you're doing is you're telling people, hey, this is the guy. There's not going to be any twists or flips, anything like that. That's why we got one of the best Outkast songs of all time in the trailer. I don't care what anybody says. All right, Bombs Over Baghdad, amazing. Got everybody hyped for the trailer and everything like that. But we'll come back to that. I'm jumping around. Sorry. It's the Adderall. No, it's the Ritalin. No, it's the Benadryl. I'm just playing. So anyway, all the Suicide members, well, they go up to Brainiac's fortress like they've been doing a bunch of other times. And instead of him turning into one of the Suicide, which I don't understand. You have all the superhero members. You have all the Justice League members. You've taken out the Justice League. And then, you decide, yeah, you know who you're going to fight? Brainiac. You're like, okay, yeah, unique move system. I'm about to mess him up. Let's see what he's got. Does he got tentacles like Injustice? You know what I'm saying? Does he work like Superman the animated series where he's basically like a Terminator? Nah. He just basically just takes the move set completely. Now, here's the thing. If they are clones, it does technically, playing devil's advocate, I know, someone has to. It does technically, give that out of why he was able to copy the DNA of said characters and heroes. Well, of course he was. They're clones. He basically broke them down to the molecular level. Here's the problem with that. Superman makes sense. Flash makes sense. Even Batman kind of makes sense, but you can't clone someone to be Batman. They have to go through the initial experiences to become that girl. We'll leave that be. We'll leave it alone. How did he make a Green Lantern ring? Now, if it is the Green Lantern, that makes sense. He's still, as long as he doesn't kill, technically, the Green Lantern ring is still connected to his willpower, his being. You can make another Jon Stewart. You can make another Kyle Rayner. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can make another Guy Gardner. You can't make a Green Lantern ring. That's not how it works. But, well, again, I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving that be. So you're telling me this entire time, this whole plan was Arkham Batman's plan. He's basically like, hey, we screwed the pooch. We're not going to be able to fix this one. So I'm basically going to set things in motion so that Amanda Waller can make a Suicide Squad out of the people I've beaten before and also villains of my other compatriots and those people. And Lawless, for some reason, are going to beat Brainiac. Okay, Batman does make the plans. He's always made the plans in Justice League. And I'm not going to rant and rave and talk about the fact that they turned Mr. Freeze into Mrs. Freeze. I mean, at the end of Arkham Knight, they were supposed to walk off on Freeze together, but whatever. Different universes, I guess. And they even turned the Joker into Deadpool, essentially, with the first character. And here's the thing. I'm not upset about it. I don't really get upset too much about video games anyway. But I'm not upset about it. But what I don't seem to understand is this. You had the perfect setup for either Batman Beyond, right? Or a Justice League game. Or if you wanted to make a Suicide Squad game, again, that's perfectly okay. There are other things you could have done, right? But, again, trying to make a game that doesn't exist and compare it to a game that does exist is not fair. Because it would also have to face mandation by, managers. It'd have to face corporate mandates. It would also have to face different crunch times, different leaks, and different fan blowback and whatever. And a lot of people are never happy, and you can never satisfy them anyway. So, I get that. I understand that. But it's just weird that basically, Rocksteady originally had this 12-season plan, and we're going to stretch it down. We got all these different characters. And then you fast forward today, they're like, 4 seasons up, we don't know what's going on. Here's the ending. You're like, okay. I mean, and if you're keeping up with it, that's understandable. 'Cause guess what? At the very end, they dropped Deathstroke. I'll never not be mad at Deathstroke. Character-wise. But you put him in a video game, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. Right? They even gave us a Joker. Did he have a Mary Poppins umbrella? Sure. Did they essentially just give me the mask / Deadpool? Of course they did. But they didn't have the rights to Deadpool. So they did the best that they could. And it was all right. Then they gave me Lawless. What was that? They're already fighting an authoritarian regime in Brainiac. You don't need someone else coming up and telling them how crappy he is. They're villains, mind you. We already know that they're crappy. You know what you don't need to do? Come and chastise him while he's coming and saving the world. Hey, Dad, I know you're trying to save the world and everything. I know you got a bomb in your neck and it's really stressful right now. And you're fighting the Justice League, including a man who can lift cars above his head. A man who's faster than the speed of sound. The man who can outthink most people on the planet. And a man who can create pretty much anything he wants out of thin air. But I just want you to know that you gave me a crappy childhood and that upsets me. Because this is the perfect time to tell me that. But anyway, I digress. So, Lawless, honestly, her power set was cool. You know what I mean? Because you got the thing where you can kind of, she's got like gravity and blah, 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 blah. And honestly, you had characters who were geniuses. You could have made it Mr. Miracle. You could have done a lot of things with it. Honestly, man, you want to make it a black woman, which understandably, Bumblebee, right there. The most recent Power Girl, do that. Even if you want to do Naomi, which I don't like Naomi. But you could do Naomi. Put Naomi in there. We had a Wonder Woman that died. You know who could have avenged her? Nubia. I don't know. I just, you could honestly take a batch from the Telltale games, give Lucius Fox a daughter, and do that. You could. It's the Arkham universe. We have Lucius Fox already. But anyway, we got what we got. And technically, I did just say that I wasn't going to chastise and create a game that doesn't exist and compare it to the game that we have now. I'm just simply saying there were ways to avoid the pitfalls that they've fallen into, especially by a company who was so goated. Yes, I fought it. Leave me be. A company that was so goated. Storytelling-wise, you couldn't beat Rocksteady. You know what I mean? But make the game they wanted to make. And, hey, they made a finished game, which is, a lot closer than that Wonder. When are we getting that Wonder Woman game? I'm sick. Benadryl. No, the Adderall. Another bath salts. Anyway. When are we getting that Wonder Woman game? When are we getting it? Here's my question. Right? We got that Wonder Woman game announced the exact same year as the Batman and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. The Batman came out, crushed it. Suicide Squad came out, did its thing, being nice. And where's that Wonder Woman game? It's supposed to have the Nemesis system, the Woman of War, the First Lady of comic books. I should be able to at least have a playable demo of Diana Themyscira right now. Where's she at? Because guess what? I'm going into a side tangent here. I personally believe that Wonder Woman does not get the respect that she deserves. Wonder Woman does not get the respect that she deserves. There's a Mount Rushmore of superheroes. There's Batman and Superman. There is no debate about those two. There is no debate about those two. There is no debate about those two. And then Spider-Man. There is no debate about him. There isn't. He's the face of Marvel. He is one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. Every teenage superhero is him. Because guess what? Every teenage superhero stopped being Robin and started being Spider-Man. Even Dick Grayson became Nightwing. Who do I think Nightwing is a pastiche of? But I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. The point of it is this for me. Once you get past those three, Wonder Woman's right there. Every female superhero is based off of her. Every single one. In some way, shape, or form. The kindness, the virtue, the beauty. The inspiration to both men and women. And you mean to tell me you can't get a good game out? The only time that she's in a video game is when she's got the other two boys there. But here's my thing. You gave me God of War. You gave me Clash of Titans. You gave me a goddamn Thor game. I don't understand why you can't just give me Diana. Give me a sword. Give me a whip. Give me a shield. Put me in ancient Greece. Fight some Minotaurs. Fight some Basilica. Fight some Banshees. Like, put all the fantasy in there. Put all the fantasy in there. I want her to go to Hogwarts, essentially. And I want her to just wreck shop. I just wanted to wreck shop. I wanted to go up to a snake guy who's like, Diana of Themyscira, slice off his head. But anyway, again, I'm talking about things that don't exist. But, you know what I mean? She has her own rogues gallery. There's a lot of things you could have done, Rocksteady. But we got it by Monolith Studios. Okay. So Monolith. You got a lot of things you could do. And you have an example from Suicide Squad and the next topic, Gotham Knights. Which I don't hate as much as everybody else hates. That's the other thing. Gotham Knights, to me, is a cautionary tale, right? Because out of the two, I think Gotham Knights should have been the one that was in the Arkham universe. You can be mad at me, you can fight me, you can be mad at me, you can fight me, but out of the two options, isn't that the best option? I'm just saying. And at the time, we were mad. Oh, no, Suicide Squad should be the one that's connected. Okay, it's connected now. Are we happy? No, we're not. So, let me ask you a question. Why can't... You know what? Nope. Again, I'm talking about a game that doesn't exist. That's my bad. But here's the thing. Gotham Knights. Interesting combat system. I mean, was it as groundbreaking as Free Flow? No, but it was never going to be. And they already said it was in a different universe. It was its own thing. Now, the traversal could have definitely been worked on. I'm not going to lie to you about that. The costumes, some of them are great. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe poop. But they tried. Was it a prompt kill of Batman? Did he go out like a boss? Out of the two deaths of Batman, of the two games that came out announced in DC Fandom, I want you to compare the death of Gotham Knights Batman to Arkham, quote unquote, Batman, because we know it's a clone now, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League Batman. Out of those two Batman, and I'll wait. In the comments, go ahead and tell me. Out of these two Batman, Arkham, quote unquote, Batman from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and Gotham Knights Batman, who had the best death? I'll tell you, I don't even need to look at the comments. I don't even need to, but I will because I care. But I don't even need to because Gotham Knights, and we knew that, gave Batman the respect that he deserves. Is he just a human? Yes, but he is the best of us. That is the point. Then he dies. Then other people step in and take over. Because it's about legacy. Now, here's a question. Not even a question. Here's a statement. Now, did they handle it the best? They handled it the best that they possibly could. It was okay. It wasn't the best that was ever constructed. But, what really is at the end of the day. And I think it was okay. It was decent. It was decent. Look, listen. Were the Court of Owls done the best they possibly could have been done? No, not necessarily. Did Batman come in towards the end of the game anyway as a boss, like we all pretty much thought he was going to, because you don't kill Batman if you're DC? His superpower is money in the real world, which makes him unkillable. Yeah. But I still take that over what they did with him in Suicide Squad. I'm just saying. So, that being said, you tell me, guys, down in the comments, how do you feel about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Now that it's wrapped up, we can do a proper postmortem. It's the Adderall. No, it's the crack. No, it's the alcohol. Anyway, you can do a proper postmortem. So tell me, how do we feel? Postmortem. Huh? We compared to Gotham Knights. How we feeling, guys? How we feeling? You let me know down in the comments. As I was going to talk about TikTok ban. Well, that sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. But we're going over the red note. That might be in this video. I'm not going to lie. I might age the video a little bit. We'll see. We're going over the red note. Those terms and conditions are in Mandarin. You can't read those. You have no idea what you're agreeing to. And until I know what I'm agreeing to, it's not coming on my phone. Anyway. In other gaming news. All right. We have Dawn of the Dawnbreaker? Dawnwalker? Something with the Dawnwalker. Wait a minute. Blood of Dawnwalker. Did I check my notes? No, I didn't. Shut up. So here's the thing. Now that we moved on from Suicide Squad and the Batman died 2 years later. No, he didn't. It's a joke. You get. Why aren't you guys laughing with me? Anyway, moving on from that. Blood of the Dawnwalker. Okay? Saw a little bit of a trailer for it. Not gonna lie to you guys. It's an interesting topic game. Me personally, I'm not gonna play it, but I don't know. Actually, let me not say. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna judge until I know specifically what it's about. But they tore those people up. They got the League of Extraordinary YNs, and those pointy-eared men came up and they tore everybody up. And the guy's just looking for his daughter or his little girl at the end of the day. And so basically we're Blade, but white. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Might be interesting. Anyway, guys, I have crack-addled long enough, and my medicine is starting to make me tired. So I'm going to cap it off right here, guys. Go ahead and like us. So, funny story. In the time that I created this whole video and figured it out of YouTube, they took it, and then they brought it back. They took it, and they brought it back. Okay, so disregard that. I mean, my thoughts are still the same, but they took it, and then they brought it back like a boomerang. It's kind of funny if you really think about it. Now I feel lied to. Really, I feel lied to. I feel misconstrued. I feel misled. I feel lied to. Anyway, like and subscribe and all that other good stuff. You know what to do. So have a good one.